Welcome to Don't Visit Europe, the only travel channel hosted by someone who survived all the postcards and none of the real-life logistics. Today's episode is dedicated to a country that everyone romanticizes until they actually try to use the train system. Italy. Yes, the land of art, pasta, passion, and slow-motion collapse. Where the architecture is ancient, the scooters are fast, and the bureaucracy is eternal? You think you're coming here to live La Dolce Vita, but after 48 hours, it's more like La Dolce Cua because you're still in line for everything. Italy is that friend who's always late, always overdressed, and somehow still makes you feel undercooked. Every city promises history, culture, and food. What they don't mention is heatstroke, scams, crowds, and pasta that costs 18 euros but tastes like guilt. And if you think you can just relax here, try finding a bathroom in Venice in July. But hey, if you think this is bad, wait till you meet Naples. We'll expose the overpriced espresso in Florence, the wet revenge of the gondolas in Venice, and the mysterious mafia of selfie stick vendors in Rome. This is not a travel guide, it's a public service announcement wrapped in sarcasm and soaked in marinara regret. Have you ever paid 7 euros for water in a square filled with pigeons and regret? Then you might be entitled to compensation, or at least a comment below. So, if you're new here, benvenuto. This is your last chance to turn back before the espresso hits. Hit that like button if you've ever cried in a Roman taxi. Subscribe if you've been personally victimized by Italian train delays. And comment below, which Italian city broke your spirit the fastest?
Rome, the eternal city, is a place of perpetual transformation, continually expensive, and an endless test of patience. You arrive seeking history, only to discover it often causes traffic jams. Rome's beauty is undeniable, like a marble statue that's tumbled down the stairs and been monetized. Let's begin with the quintessential icon, the Colosseum. This ancient arena, where gladiators once fought for their lives, now sees modern tourists battling for a patch of shade. From a distance, it's majestic. Up close, it's an $18 ticket, a 90-minute wait under the scorching sun, and a tour guide named Paulo shouting unwanted historical facts. It's truly unique. You can get heatstroke and be pickpocketed by a man in a fake centurion outfit all in the same afternoon. You anticipate feeling the glory of ancient Rome, but instead you'll likely witness a bachelorette party performing TikTok dances beside the remnants of Western civilization. The structure is crumbling, and so somehow are your expectations. Then there's the famous fountain where you toss a coin and make a wish. Spoiler alert, your wish won't come true, but the pickpockets will. Surrounded by 300 sweaty people wielding selfie sticks and a vendor hawking blinking toys, it's less Roman holiday and more Roman overcrowded nightmare. The water is crystal clear, your intentions are pure, and your backpack? It's wide open. You'll end up with one blurry photo featuring a stranger's elbow. Welcome to the magic. What's the worst historical site you've ever waited in line for? Was the Colosseum a cultural treasure or just a sunburn simulator for you? And who else has been inadvertently drenched by the Trevi fountain from someone else's selfie splash? Rome is chaotic, exhausting, and undeniably magnificent, much like your last breakup. You might depart angry, sunburned, and broke, but you'll undoubtedly tell everyone it was magical, because admitting the truth would be far more painful.
Venice, the city seemingly suspended on water, is undoubtedly beautiful, but it's also a perplexing, crowded, and perpetually sinking maze that by July carries the distinct aroma of regret. It's truly a dream until you awaken lost, drenched in sweat, and 80 euros poorer after a mere 12-minute gondola ride. It's the only place where even Google Maps throws in the towel, essentially declaring, you're somewhere wet. Good luck. St. Mark's Square, the pigeon-infested heart. This is Venice's pulsating heart, and quite possibly Europe's hottest, most pigeon-dense square. You arrive seeking elegance, but you'll find 14-euro espressos, a flurry of camera flashes, and a gentleman named Fabio serenading you with My Heart Will Go On an accordion. The basilica is indeed magnificent, but try appreciating it while being herded like cattle in 40 degrees Celsius heat. And a word to the wise, beware the acqua alta. It sounds charming until you realize it's just sewer water lapping at your ankles. The Grand Canal. Romance with a hint of diesel. Ah, the famous aquatic highway. Here, boats don't slow down and gondolas glide at the emotional pace of heartbreak. Fancy a ride? That'll be 100 euros grazie. Want to film it? Add another 20 euros for the pleasure of awkward eye contact with your gondolier. The views are undeniably stunning if you can overlook the smell, the noise, and the constant fear of toppling into history. You'll float past centuries of architecture and liters of boat fuel. It's romance with a distinct side of diesel. What's your take? How much is truly too much for a gondola ride? Be honest. And have you ever had a close encounter or attack with a pigeon in Venice? Is Venice your dream destination or an overpriced swamp? Venice isn't just a destination, it's a cautionary tale about romance, price tags, and wearing suede shoes in the wrong city. You'll despise the heat and the crowds, yet despite it all, you might just shed a tear when you leave. Because even chaos, when it floats, possesses a certain undeniable beauty.
Florence, a city where every corner is a painting and every ticket is a testament to your willingness to endure for aesthetics. This is not only the birthplace of the Renaissance, but also of modern-day museum-induced claustrophobia. You arrive dreaming of art, magnificent architecture, and divine pasta. You depart with 400 identical photos and a crick in your neck from perpetually looking upwards. Let's begin with the ubiquitous image you'll find on every souvenir t-shirt, the Duomo. From a distance, it's truly breathtaking. Up close, prepare for 17 different types of lines, absolutely no shade, and a no short shorts warning plastered in 12 languages. You might imagine climbing the dome to be a spiritual journey. It's not. It's an intense cardio workout. We're talking 463 steps, no elevator, and zero ventilation. You'll have no regrets initially, until your knee begins to vibrate uncontrollably. You finally reach the top, ready for that perfect panoramic view, only to realize your phone has a mere 4% battery and no space left for even one more selfie. Next, the Galleria dell'Academy, David. You'll queue for an hour to gaze upon a naked man sculpted from marble. And he's not even looking at you. Yes, the David is an undeniable masterpiece. However, the true performance unfolds among the crowd of tourists attempting to capture a selfie without looking like a pervert. You stand there in a moment of reverent silence, striving to appreciate the art, when someone behind you inevitably whispers, "He's not that tall, right?" Meanwhile, just outside, you'll find 27 shops peddling mini Davids adorned with Santa hats. Authenticity, indeed. Share your Florence experiences. Was climbing the Duomo worth the stairs, or did it leave you needing therapy? Who else nearly fainted in a Renaissance museum? What's your favorite awkward statue selfie story? Florence is so utterly perfect it hurts. Literally. In your wallet, in your lower back, and in your very sanity. You'll swear you're going to love it, and you will, but you'll also vow never to step foot in a museum without air conditioning ever again. In the end, you won't be sure if your tears were for the profound beauty of the art or the sheer agony of the queues.
Milan, the city of high fashion and even higher coffee prices. This is the place where you go to feel perpetually underdressed, undeniably underpaid, and constantly judged by statues that somehow exude more wealth than you. You arrive expecting sleek sophistication and undeniable style, and you'll find it,
in a cold, sterile, don't touch anything kind of way. It's like stepping into a very expensive perfume advertisement that somehow forgot to include joy. The Duomo di Milano. Gothic grandeur, tourist grumbles. The Duomo di Milano is truly stunning. A Gothic cathedral that took 6 centuries to complete and 5 seconds for your phone to overheat while you're trying to photograph it. Want to climb up to the top? Be prepared for uneven steps, sweaty elbows, and a view mostly obstructed by scaffolding and other tourists filming vertical TikToks. Oh, and the pigeons. They're everywhere. They're bold, they're Milanese, and they're quite possibly better dressed than you. And just as you're admiring the intricate spires, a street vendor will inevitably try to sell you bird feed. It's a trap. Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, the Golden Cage. Welcome to the world's most opulent shopping mall, the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II. Here you can't afford anything, but the judgment is always free. You came for luxury, but instead you'll find yourself getting elbowed by someone juggling 6 Gucci bags and a tiny dog in a stroller. Feel like sitting down for a coffee? That'll be €14. Dare to breathe near the Prada window. Security is already watching you. You'll try spinning on the bull mosaic for good luck, just like all the other tourists. But then your ankle twists and your dignity gone with your wallet. Milanese musings. What's the most ridiculously overpriced thing you've ever bought while trying to impress absolutely nobody? Did the Duomo or Dior break your soul more? And has a mannequin ever given you a disapproving stare? Share your Milan trauma below. Milan isn't warm. It isn't friendly. It's a fashion runway, and you're just the awkward extra. You'll feel ignored, overcharged, and underdressed, and yet you'll still tell your friends it was elegant. Why? Because deep down, we all want to suffer in style.
Naples, the city that gifted the world pizza and heart palpitations. It's loud, it's fast, and it smells of motor oil and basil, a place where passion collides with potholes. You don't just visit Naples, you survive it. It's gritty, it's real, and at any given moment, it might try to sell you a leather jacket, a scooter, and a raw octopus. Historic center, Centro Storico. Ancient charm, modern chaos. A UNESCO World Heritage Site. Translation, the streets are charming, ancient, and aggressively unregulated. You'll stroll past churches older than democracy itself, witness scooters defying the laws of physics, and see balconies adorned with drying underwear and political banners. It's beautiful in the same way as slow-motion street fight is beautiful. And don't bother with directions. Google Maps doesn't even attempt to navigate here. It just shrugs its digital shoulders. Quartieri Spagnoli, the vibrancy of suspicion. The Spanish quarters, where every alley seems to whisper, "Are you sure you want to be here?" It's alive, intensely, aggressively, suspiciously. You'll see scooters squeezing through spaces you didn't think were three-dimensional, and children playing football next to a shrine illuminated by neon Jesus candles. It's the only place in Italy where you can order an espresso, buy knockoff Prada, and almost get run over, all from the same window. Your Neapolitan adventures. Tourists either fall in love with Naples or fall into a pothole. Have you ever fallen in love with a city that almost killed you? Naples pizza versus Naples traffic. What's deadlier? Is chaos merely part of the charm, or is it the entire experience? Naples isn't easy. It doesn't embrace you, it slaps you and exclaims, "Mangia!" It's exhausting, it's intense, and yet, somehow, it's utterly unforgettable. You'll swear you'll never return, only to find yourself craving it a week later, just like the pizza.
Pisa, the city that famously pondered, what if we built it wrong and just kept going? It's home to one of the world's most iconic structures, a building so renowned for its structural unsoundness that it transformed failure into a profitable enterprise. You might think you're visiting history, but what you're truly experiencing is a colossal accident turned photo opportunity. You don't come to Pisa for culture, you come to prop up a tower that has likely already dashed your expectations. Leaning Tower of Pisa, an architectural cry for help. Built in the 12th century, started leaning in the 12th century, still leaning today, much like your confidence after 48 hours in Italy.
The tower itself is surprisingly short, rather awkward, surrounded by fences, and costs up to 27 euros to climb. That's right, you pay to ascend a staircase inside an architectural cry for help. And the stairs? Tilted. You'll feel tipsy without having touched a drop. When you finally reach the top, you're greeted with a minuscule view and 50 other tourists filming vertical TikToks while feigning bravery. Piazza di Miracoli, Field of Miracles, the selfie ballet. The true miracle here isn't the architecture, it's that people still spread out picnic blankets despite the aggressive souvenir vendors in literal busloads of selfie enthusiasts. You'll witness a bizarre ballet of bad posture. Dozens of tourists squatting, leaning, and pretending to push or hug the tower. It's like a yoga class for the hopelessly ironic. Craving a quiet moment of reflection? Tough luck! There's an influencer shouting about angles in 7 different languages. And be wary of the grass police. They'll yell at you in Italian for stepping 2 inches off the designated path. Pisa ponderings. Have you ever paid money to climb a mistake? Which hold the tower photo is the most cursed? Can a leaning tower be a metaphor for your life? Let's discuss. Pisa is short, it leans, it's crowded, and yet you'll go anyway. Why? Because deep down, we're all just a little tilted. And it's comforting to know that even landmarks can't stand straight. It's not about what the tower is, it's about what we pretend it means. Verona, the city of manufactured romance. The city of Romeo and Juliet, if Romeo was a backpacker and Juliet was a sponsored post. It claims to be Italy's most romantic city, provided you're not allergic to crowds, overpriced souvenirs, or emotionally hollow gestures. People travel across the globe to behold a balcony Juliet never stood on, attached to a house she never inhabited, commemorating a story that never actually transpired. That's right. You flew 9 hours to touch the wall of a fictional character's Airbnb. Juliet's house, Casa de Giulietta, the shrine of shared delusion. You'll enter a cramped courtyard enveloped by individuals scribbling fake love notes, affixing chewing gum to the walls, and patiently queuing to rub a statue's breast. Yes, there's a bronze statue of Juliet. Yes, people touch her chest for luck. Yes, someone beside you will undoubtedly take a selfie doing it. And yes, you will question everything about your life choices. Inside the house, you'll discover a complete absence of historical accuracy and an exorbitantly priced gift shop hawking Romeo and Juliet branded chocolates, because nothing screams love quite like chocolate and shared delusion. And that iconic balcony, it was a 20th century edition because tourism demanded a stage set. Welcome to Romance Land. Verona Arena, ancient echoes, modern annoyances. It's akin to the Colosseum if the Colosseum embarked on a diet and decided to peddle opera tickets. You'll marvel at the ancient Roman amphitheater while expertly dodging couples posing for wedding photos in matching linen outfits. By day, it's merely hot stone. By night, it transforms into a concert venue where 2,000 people valiantly attempt to enjoy music amidst squawking seagulls and aggressively creaking plastic chairs. You arrived seeking ancient drama, you'll get someone's birthday party featuring La Traviata and a persistent vendor hawking glow sticks. Verona verdicts. Have you ever traveled for something that ultimately didn't exist? Is fictional romance truly worth real-world disappointment? What's worse, overpriced opera or fake Shakespeare? Verona isn't about love. It's about perpetually selling the illusion of love. You came searching for passion, poetry, and tragic beauty. You'll depart with a blurry photo of a statue and a receipt for €6 heart-shaped magnets. But perhaps that's the genuine romance of it all, believing in something fake and loving it anyway. Bologna, a deliciously disorienting dream. The city of food, students, and 400 arcades that all look exactly the same. You came for the exquisite cuisine, you stayed because you simply couldn't find your way out. It's known as La Dotta, La Grassa, La Rosa, the learned, the fat, the red.
But it's also la confusa, la trafficata, la eternamente under costruzione, the confused, the traffic-laden, the eternally under construction. Bologna is like an intellectual fever dream. You're lost, slightly tipsy, and surrounded by 800-year-old university buildings, none of which, it seems, possess public toilets. Due torri, le due torri di Bologna. Double the lean, double the anxiety. Not one, but two leaning towers, because Pisa simply can't monopolize all the architectural anxiety. You likely attempt to conquer the Essinelli Tower, 498 steps, no elevator, and one massive medieval panic attack in the making. From the top, the view is undeniably gorgeous. Also, terrifying, because the tower sways in the wind and your knees stop trusting you about 300 steps ago. The Garasenda Tower? It's shorter and leans even more dramatically. Locals stroll by as if this is perfectly normal. You, however, will stare at it, wondering if your travel insurance covers poetic structural failure. University Quarter, Quartiere Universitario, ancient minds, modern mayhem. This is the oldest university in the Western world, and it shows, primarily in the plumbing. It's a vibrant tapestry of red buildings, endless graffiti, and students fervently discussing marks while sipping €2 wine from plastic cups. Try finding a cafe with Wi-Fi. Now try finding one where someone is chain-smoking directly beside you. At night, the area transforms into a cacophony of noise, music, shouting, and impassioned debates that inevitably conclude with someone yelling fascista at a passing Vespa. During the day, everything is inexplicably closed. Don't even bother asking why. Have you ever climbed a tower that leaned and found yourself questioning all your life choices halfway up? Would you truly study in a place that seems to disregard the concept of working bathrooms? Bologna versus Florence. Who deserves the Too Much Architecture award? Bologna will fill your stomach, thoroughly confuse your sense of direction, and challenge your patience all before noon. It's intellectual, it's historic, it's an exhausting blend of beauty, bureaucracy, and basement-level ventilation. You'll depart with 3 things: 1 extra kilo on your frame, 10 blurry photos of arches, and a vague, persistent desire to overthrow capitalism.
Palermo, a beautiful, dangerous embrace. The city that assaults your senses with the scent of lemons, exhaust fumes, and a vague hint of danger. You arrive anticipating Sicilian romance, and instead you're greeted by heatstroke, a fish head, and an unsolicited tour from a guy named Salvatore who may or may not actually work for the city. It's beautiful. It's loud. It's a constant background hum of mopeds, shouting nanas, and unanswered questions. Palermo doesn't care if you like it. Palermo dares you not to. Ballarò Market, a culinary battleground. This isn't merely a market. It's a full-blown battlefield of flavors, cacophony, and borderline illegal street food stands. Vendors will bellow at you, at each other, and even at the fish. Everyone is hawking swordfish heads, snails, tripe, and various deep-fried concoctions you'll consume without question. Someone will hand you arancini with their bare hands. You'll eat it anyway. And honestly, it's delicious. But still, slightly radioactive. You will be bumped into. You will sweat. You might even get pickpocketed. Yet you'll find yourself drawn back the very next day for more punishment and that one perfect cannoli. Palermo Cathedral, grandeur and ghostliness. From the outside, the Palermo Cathedral is truly stunning. Arab Norman architecture, towering spires, intricate mosaics, a genuine cultural flex. Inside, it's quiet, echoey, and possesses a mildly haunted atmosphere. You'll step in from the market's chaos into what feels like an ancient tomb and instantly lose all sense of what century you're in. But good luck capturing a clear photo. It's either blasted by overexposed sunlight or a wedding party is completely blocking the view. And much like most cathedrals in Italy, it feels as though God might be actively hiding from the tourists. Sicilian Street Confessions. Have you ever eaten something absolutely amazing while simultaneously fearing for your life? Was Ballarò Market a genuine cultural experience or an edible fever dream? What's your spiciest street food story? Drop it below, with GPS coordinates if you dare. Palermo isn't trying to seduce you. it's testing you. You'll be overwhelmed, confused, slightly threatened, and profoundly moved all before lunch. It's gritty, hot, messy, and utterly unforgettable. It's the kind of city that doesn't seek your approval, and that's precisely why you'll never forget it.
10 cities, 20 locations, and precisely 0 moments of peace. You've skillfully dodged scooters in Naples, gamely climbed architectural mistakes in Pisa, reluctantly paid €6 for an espresso in Milan, and consumed more carbohydrates than your therapist would ever approve of. You've touched statues that clearly desired no human contact, sat on ancient stairs older than your entire family tree, and fiercely argued over which Italian region truly holds the patent on authentic lasagna. Italy is confusing, loud, slightly dangerous, overpriced, and maddeningly perfect. It's every emotion packed into a single trip. Pure bliss, simmering rage, profound awe, and undeniable indigestion. You'll swear on a stack of Vatican Bibles that you will never return, then spend the entire flight home meticulously planning your next visit. Because here's the unvarnished truth. Italy doesn't need you to love it. It already knows you will. It will flirt with you shamelessly in Rome, brazenly insult you in Naples, expertly seduce you in Florence, and then abruptly ghost you in Venice. It is, unequivocally, the toxic ex of Europe. And like a fool, you'll go back. Share your scars. What's your most ridiculous Italian travel story? Drop it below. Still planning to visit after all that? Tell me why. Which city sounds the most unhinged? Or is that just all of them? If you've survived this rant, congratulations! You've just earned yourself a plate of perfectly al dente carbonara and a lifelong craving for punishment. Like, comment, and subscribe to Don't Visit Europe. New disasters every week. Next up, why you should never visit Greece, featuring ruins, riots, and 47 types of feta. See you in the next emotional breakdown.